Hi, I'm Patricia Allingham Carlson, and this is an end-to-end video in 8 parts of my painting Mount Gretna Home. Here in part 1, I'm doing a sketch for the architecture of the house, as well as marking out the many plants and hanging baskets. Next, I apply the masking fluid and I let it dry thoroughly before the painting moves on. Please give it a thumbs up if you like it and subscribe to see more. Let's get started painting. Starting the new painting with a drawing. This painting is called Mount Gretna Home. The building that I'm drawing is rather complicated. It has a lot of angles, and even the angle that I took the photograph from has some difficult little bends, twists, and lines. I'm looking at my iPad where I have the image of the Mount Gretna home. I'm looking at the diagonal lines of the roof, and I'm trying to get the perspective right. Perspective can be quite a challenge. Even getting the direct vertical lines straight up and down can be a challenge. If you get them leaning in the wrong way, then your home's going to look like it's leaning. I'm using a method called eyeballing it. I'm not laying out a complicated design with perspective lines, but I'm approximating what my eye sees with what the ruler is leading to. At times, I actually hold the ruler right up to the image, look at the angle of the diagonal line, which is what I'm doing here, and then approximate it on my paper. If you're trying to do a realistic painting, this step is very important to get it right. As I work on this painting, I actually do make adjustments throughout the course of the painting, because what may look right initially ends up not working out right. Sometimes a little freehand sketching does work. Other times it's better to use the ruler. You could determine that on your own. Fortunately, in this particular painting, an awful lot of the architecture is covered up by plants and flowers and bushes and trees. So if I get a couple angles a little bit wrong, a lot of them are going to be covered anyway. Still, getting the bones of the architecture down correctly is an important step here. Here I'm erasing the extra lines that were overdrawn to get my scales and my lines correct. This beautiful home had some lovely windows and window designs. And every window had a flower box in front of it. Vines climb up the side of the house as well. More than likely they were ivy. They climb right up along the chimney and in some cases reached the rooftop. Another flower box for the window. And a vine growing up the side of the home as well. Again, I'm going back and erasing some of the extra lines. Now the way the light shone on this painting, or on this particular scene, I wanted to capture in my painting with some strong, strong whites where the sunlight was focused on. In this case, it was the side of the building, the gutter pipe that runs down the side of the house, one side of the chimney, and then a little bit of light being caught here and there elsewhere. If I get these places sketched in clearly, I'll know right where to put my masking fluid so that I can preserve these strong whites. I'm preparing my brush to apply masking fluid here. I've wet the brush with water and I'm running it through soap. I want to get soap all the way into the brush, all the way up to the ferrule. Wipe off the extra fluid, and then when I paint with my masking fluid, the brush should not be ruined by the masking fluid completely soaking into it. but should be easily removed with water and soap when I'm done using the brush. Masking fluid can be difficult to apply. It's certainly worth the effort if you want to keep good clean whites in your painting. And whites seem to be vital to much of watercolor painting in making the colors sparkle and shine even more. But if you ruin a brush every time you try to use it, then it's not quite as optimal. I have used old brushes, but my halfway decent brushes I always coat with soap and water before I use them with masking fluid. So what I'm doing is putting in the masking fluid where I want strong light to be retained around the strong colors that are going to be applied. Going down the gutter pipe along the house, the tops of the stair banisters, the edge of the roof, where just a sparkle of light hits. I'd never painted a flag before, so this was going to be a new experience. In this case, I'm masking the entire thing out so it can be painted separately. This American flag has obviously some very strong whites in it, and I did not want it to be mistaken for anything but a flag. Hoping you enjoyed this video and that you learned something too, as well as me learning something. I appreciate your likes, and please do subscribe. If you click on the bell and select all, you'll get a ring whenever I post a new video. Your comments are always welcome, and I will see you soon with a new end-to-end painting. So don't forget to subscribe.